What's going on, all you wild vampire enthusiasts? It's your two favorite critics back here for 31 Days of Horror. I'm Logan Myers. That's my good mate over there.
I'm Henry Hill, and we're talking about a classic horror film tonight, one that came out in 1987. We are talking about a film that is very near and dear to our heart, mainly your heart. It's probably your favorite movie. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
I knew it. We even took a road trip to go visit the locations that were seen in the film, primarily the Santa Cruz Boardwalk, but it's not known as Santa Cruz.
It's
One thing
known
about living in Santa Carla, I never could stomach
all the
all
damn
the damn
vampire.
vampires. Yes, it is. We're talking about Joel Schumacher's The Lost Boys.
Smell like garlic.
And the 4K Steelbook just came out, and that is what I'm showing off now. Really awesome artwork. There's Michael Emerson on the front, Jason Patrick. You can see them hanging underneath the railroad tracks, the bridge there. And then on the back, it's, of course, has the Chinese food with the maggots down there. Those are maggots, aren't they, Michael?
You did maggots, Michael. How do they taste? So yeah, going back, this is definitely my favorite movie of all time. It's always close to this original Halloween, 1978. I don't know. I think I love this just a little more. It's close, but I love this a little more just because big part of my life. It's been one of my favorite movies as a kid. I saw this in the drive-in theater with my parents when it came out, 1987. Awesome. I don't know why they brought me to that as a 2-year-old, but I was in the back seat and I just remember looking up and just glued on the screen and remember seeing it back then. I have the original poster from that year, still have it in my basement. It's framed. It's one of my prized possessions, but loving this movie just growing up, it's the 1980s, late 1980s, very homoerotic, over the top, directed by Joel Schumacher, kickstarting a lot of careers in this cast, all young kids, up and coming actors, all, ages from like 15 to 18 in this movie. Jason Patrick, Kiefer Sutherland, Jamie Gertz, star the Coreys. This is the movie they were introduced to and one another that kickstarted the Coreys' careers, to come in the 80s and the 90s and all the drug addiction. But this is a movie, younger kids, the Frog Brothers. You got young Corey Haim as Sam and then older brother Michael. Basically, they moved from Phoenix to, Northern California, Santa Carla, the murder capital of the world, as we find out early in the film. The billboard, they're driving into town. People Are Strange by Echo and the Bunnymen's playing. Sets up a really cool vibe of this movie, very hippie-like, but it's a blood-soaked film with vampires, and just the whole setup of the film showing up to the iconic house, Grandpa's house, that we went to in Santa Cruz and checked it out. It's really cool.
Yeah, I loved what Joel Schumacher did, how he filmed this, and just the feeling of it, like you mentioned, the overall feel of the film just feels like you're there, and you can feel when David and the Lost Boys, they come in and how they swoop in and how they are able to fly, and it's an awesome movie. And it has a lot to do with the cast. Obviously, he casted it perfectly. Honestly, I mean, Sam and Michael, great brother combo there with Jason Patrick. Obviously very young there, and then Corey Haim, so young, youthful, but he really held this movie. He's a star right before your eyes. This young kid, real quick-witted, likable, great smile, great hair, everything about it. Love the look of this movie. All their clothes really captured the times. But really, what stands out for me is the locations that this was filmed. The movie was filmed at. Obviously, the Santa Cruz Boardwalk there, which we got to visit. Just an awesome place to film at night, and a great place to introduce us to David and the rest of the Lost Boys.
Yeah, Paul, Dwayne, and Marco, played by Alex Winter. Young, very young at this time. He's probably around 18, but Schumacher cast a bunch of young hot kids, look like models, in this movie. Pretty boys, playing the deceitful vampires, something you wouldn't expect. And just from the get-go of the film, showing up at the boardwalk, there's like a couple making out in the car, and they, the vampires had their sound, and they're flying in and pull off the top. And they're like,
awesome. Yeah.
Just a camera view going down on the people, and you just kind of get a glimpse of what they look like when they fly and they pull them back. So it's really a lot of mystery behind this. You're not really sure who the vampires are. And then, introducing the character of Max, Ed Herman, in this film, owns a local video store, and you're all trying to figure out who's the head vampire, take out the head vampire, kill off the rest of them. There's a lot of mystery in this film, and it's set up really nicely, introducing a lot of characters, but it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. You care about each character and wondering what they're going to do. And how this is all going to pan out.
Yeah, I love the script for this film, the way it flows. There's not a wasted scene. Everything, really flows together. The whole mythology that he created here with having to take out the head vampire, but keeping them in the shadows, like you mentioned, and seeing them swoop in. Obviously there weren't any drones back then, so how he was able to do those cool camera shots coming from up high down below, swooping in, was really awesome to see. But really, Kiefer Sutherland's performance here as David is one of the most iconic performances ever. Really cool. It feels like a punk rock kind of vibe coming from him. Really cool, dangerous. Something Michael's kind of weary of, because he obviously likes stars with David there. But he really finds David to be cool, and he kind of wants to fit in with that crowd. So at the beginning there, when he follows him into the caves and everything, and we see that whole scene with them and him ending up drinking the blood and slowly turning over the film, and then obviously with his younger brother Sam finding out, and trying to figure out if he's going to have to kill his own brother and everything, and then eventually meeting up with the Frog Brothers, Corey Feldman and Jameson Newlander, who are like the resident, know-it-alls about the vampire mythology. They know how to kill them, where they hide, who to look out for. They tell all this to Sam and fill him in, so it kind of clues him in on what he's going to have to do to get his brother back, and can he even save him. So that kind of sets up where this film goes, and it's really cool how they all work together, and they have to take down these vampires. And David Kiefer Sutherland is a really smart dude too. So it's going to take an awesome plan, and it's awesome to see it come together. A couple of great performances that I like: Diane Wiest as the mom.
Yes.
Lucy, she does a great job. She feels like your friend's mom in high school, the nice one that invited you over. Come on over, have supper, with Greg or Billy, or
Yeah.
just the inviting, nice mom, cool headed, not too crazy, wants the kids to have fun, but is ultra protective. She feels like, it's a great performance. Love her in this film. And I love the old grandpa there. Love his performance. He's a kooky old man, but he's awesome too. And it plays a great father to Lucy, the old hippie, who's living at home growing pot, and he's got another date tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And I love his whole house setup too. He's like in there stuffing animals, and he's got the doctor thing on, and
Yes.
pot growing. It's just Bernard Hughes is fantastic in this movie.
Yeah.
He's one of the best parts too. There's so many good characters in this, a lot of well-written characters in this, that it just really sells the movie. And a lot of great comedic bits in this movie, great one-liners. There's, the list goes on and on. I could talk about this movie for days. It just so perfect to me, just so nostalgic for me. Being there was a dream come true, going up there with this guy from Vegas all the way to Northern California, being there for a few days. Nothing's changed there. It looks exactly the same. The boardwalk still stuck in the 80s, and which makes it really a special place to be. They didn't tear everything down. They kept the history there, and it's just a big part. The backdrop of this movie is setting a really cool modern take on the vampire myth, and really well done. I just love how it's young bunch of punks and motorcycles and riding off in the night and doing crazy shit, killing some surfers, and that iconic scene too, hanging out in the trees, and you finally see their eyes change when they turn into vampires.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Come on, Michael. And you just
blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah, just like there's only a few scenes like that you see them going at it, but it just really scares the hell out of you. Seeing this back in the 80s. It's just a very unique film, one of the best vampire movies ever made, in my opinion, for sure. Something they can never redo. Revamp this movie, younger cast, have a new movie coming out. So it suck. They're just not going to capture that magic of back then.
No way. It can't be done. You can't capture the magic that Joel Schumacher captured on film here in this movie. Everything, like you mentioned, the acting, the script writing, the filming, the cinematography, the boardwalk, just all the choices they made were phenomenal. The music, iconic soundtrack, Echo and the Bunnymen, like posters hanging in their cave, Jim Morrison there. You can imagine him being a vampire, and the whole concept with Joel Schumacher, with the Lost Boys coming from Peter Pan, it's the idea of, these young kids wanting to live forever. And it's done through, the point of view of these vampires. It's really cool. A classic film, and Joel Schumacher's best film in my opinion, for sure. And a great film to revisit in 4K this year. And by the way, it looks great. It's still, it still has grain. You can still tell it's from the 80s, but it's really cleaned up and looks spectacular on a big 4K screen. And I'm super happy that I picked this up on 4K steelbook to add to the collection.
Never grow old, never die, sleep all day, party all night.
One of the greatest taglines of all time that really sums this up.
Yes.
Just a perfect movie from the 80s. So many back in the 1980s slashers, horror films. Yeah, this is just one that's stands out to me. One of the best ever. A movie I watch countless times over and over throughout the year, not just during Halloween. Just a movie I love watching. Just watched it a few months ago. Never gets old, and it's a movie I obviously highly recommend to anybody out there that has not seen this. I don't know why you haven't, but definitely check it out, stream it as well. But go pick up the 4K. You won't be disappointed. One of the greatest movies ever made. Santa Carla, vampires, people die. Really great characters, setting up a lot of careers for a lot of the cast in the movie. Joel Schumacher too, and some of the other cast. Great soundtrack, a lot of iconic songs. Cry Little Sister that everybody knows. Cry Little Sister,
thou shalt not fall.
And probably one of the greasiest saxophone players we've ever seen in music history.
Yes.
Tim Capello. They played for Tina Turner. You know what we need in this movie? A saxophone player with chains.
A big beefcake.
A big beefcake all oiled up with chains on it. Why they threw that in? Joel Schumacher, come on. He loved it. And it makes no sense in a movie, but it's so perfect at the same time. And definitely one of the most iconic characters, too, in a movie for a short glimpse. I still believe. All the people headbanging in the crowd, just iconic.
Yeah.
But the list goes on and on here, folks. And it's a movie I love and want to watch this, after talking about this. I think I'm going to go watch it again. I can quote the whole film. We just did this the other night. I can quote the whole entire damn film, and that's how much
I showed him a screenshot, and he just said the words of what the old Bernard Hughes was going to say next. I had to look it up. I'm not that familiar. This guy knows Lost Boys, inside and out, back to front.
With the Lost Boys being my favorite movie, I'm going to give it a perfect score. So obviously I'm going to give Lost Boys 5 out of 5 Joel Schumacher hair pieces.
Woo! 5 out of 5 for me too. I'm going to give him 5 out of 5 Corey Feldman hair pieces.
Ooh, nice mullet there, sport. So we want to hear from all you wild bloodsuckers out there. What did you like about The Lost Boys? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite vampire movie? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild models over here on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews. All that horror stuff in the month of October for 31 days of horror.
All October long, we're doing this. Quite the ambitious and aggressive agenda we set for ourselves. But we love doing this, talking about horror films, movies in general, but Halloween season, it's our favorite, and we're going to keep going all month long. Stay tuned for a very special Fellas giveaway.
That's right. We may be giving away a movie we're talking about tonight on 4K digital code, but I don't know. You guys have to stick around and find out. It'll be a nice little trick or treat for your little bag in the month of October. So be coming out very soon.
So, Uncle Logan, what's your favorite kill scene? I can tell you what mine is. Death by stereo.
Yeah, I would have to say that, or the tub with Nanook.
Nanook.
I've always wanted a husky after seeing this movie, but I love Nanook. Another
push him into the bathtub full of garlic. Melts. We should mention that we met all those guys. We got to hang out with. It was a Lost Boys reunion flashback weekend. I can't remember the year.
2006, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
2008, one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah. The dates get kind of hazy, but yeah, we got to hang out with Corey Haim before he passed away a couple of years later, a year or two later after that, unfortunately. Super nice guy. You had what was his name?
Brooks.
Brooks McCarthy. Yeah, Brooks McArthur was there.
Yeah, and then you had the guy that played Dwayne.
Yes.
Billy Worth, I think his name is, or something like that.
Billy Worth. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you had the guy that played Laddie, which is the kid in the movie. He was there. Right. It was basically everybody but Kiefer and Jason Patrick and Corey Feldman, but we met Feldman at a separate convention.
And the Cry Little Sister singer there was doing a performance out in the hotel lobby. We got a couple of videos of that. That was really cool.
Yeah, all the Lost Boys came out and they were playing bongos and guitar and like singing along. Everybody was just shit-faced in the crowd, including ourselves. We recorded that on my 2006 1 megapixel digital camera. The video. It was just a non-stop party that weekend in Chicago. The Lost Boys, and memory will never forget.
We want to thank you guys for watching our review of The Lost Boys. It's now out on Steelbook and 4K. Pick this up. It might already be sold out, unfortunately, but you can check Amazon, check Best Buy. I think it's sold out on Best Buy. Check Amazon. Check it soon, though, because it's selling out fast. Just an awesome Steelbook. I'll open it up. Comes with a digital code, comes with the discs. There's Kiefer, and obviously the Chinese food with the maggots there. So thank you guys so much for watching our video. We obviously love this movie. Perfect scores for the both of us. And if you are out there and somehow you haven't seen this, go watch it tonight. It's a great one for the 31 Days of Horror. So until the next 31 Days of Horror Cinephellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Hobgoblin.
And I'm Logan Sutherland, signing out until the next horror review for 31 Days of Horror.
Cheers! Cry!
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked